habits from when we are young has been carried forward to adult time, and that actually may be holding us back in ways that we're not aware of. When I was back in school, like, there was no shit given. You can eat whatever you want and you can probably eat a lot and you still have space for more, right? And that was back in the days. Eating a huge ton, I'm always like grabbing a lot of food to barbecue. Wow, those were really the days. Because of what used to happen in the past, we start to think that whatever we wanted in the past is what we want now too. We want to continue partying hard. We want to eat a ton of food. Right? Hello, welcome back to another Hock Thoughts. I'm not too sure what to name this series yet, but basically it's just me sharing my thoughts about whatever is on my mind. So for today, I actually do want to cover holiday habits and how habits from when we are young has been carried forward to adult time, and that actually may be holding us back in ways that we're not aware of. So let's bring some awareness to them and see how we can actually like improve, do better, or if not, just food for thought, right? So what I'm talking about is, specifically like holiday habits in terms of letting ourselves go and sleeping later, partying harder, eating crazily, so on and so forth, right? Before I get to that, I want to give you an example that relates to this, right? So a couple of months back, I believe, what happened was, for the first time in probably a couple of years, we went to have a buffet, right? I think it was a barbecue. It was like Korean barbecue, buffet, a lot of meat, a lot of stuff like that. So back in the days when I was much younger in school, I'm quite sure you can relate to this, but when I was back in school, like, there was no shit given. You can eat whatever you want and you can probably eat a lot and you still have space for more, right? And that was back in the days. Eating a huge ton, I'm always like grabbing a lot of food to barbecue. Wow, those were really the days. But then fast forward to a couple of months when I actually barbecued. I entered the barbecue buffet, right? It was almost as if I was possessed by my younger self, and what happened was I just almost did the exact same thing as back when I was younger. I was ordering, because it's COVID times, right? So COVID times, we couldn't really take our own food. So I was basically ordering like every single thing like how I used to when I was young, when I was still able to eat that crazy amount of foods. So what happened then was, when the food came, like, I was like inhaling them, right? There was, whoa, like, nice, Hock, you still got it, eat this, eat that, like everything was coming in. And then I ordered a second round, and then that is when things got crazy, and that is when I started to think about what I want to share about this, right? So the second round came, and then at this time it was like suddenly done, no more space. Like, even though this was something that I probably could have handled like just years ago, like, no more space in my stomach, I'm done, no more. And there was a huge mountain of food left. Sorry about that, but huge mountain of food left. So this is what got me to like kind of self-reflect and realize, like, I was acting out of habit, right? I was acting out of as if how I used to do it in the past, almost as if I was possessed, and I didn't actually recognize that I was different and I should kind of change my approach to eat the buffet, right? So that is what I'm trying to get to in terms of the holiday habits. Like, as we are growing up, we have to understand the holidays meant like different things when we were young, right? When we were younger, like kids, we didn't have other things to worry about. We didn't have things to like think about, focus on. So what usually happened was, school, was our most boring and like, I don't know if it's stressful for some of you, maybe stressful, boring. Like, that was the only thing we did when it's not the holidays, right? When it's schooling time. So when it comes to the holidays, when we really didn't have other things to do, like, the holiday period was really like a period of time where we can do anything we want. We can even watch television. For some of you, you are probably already watching television all the way. Not the same for me. I couldn't watch television like during the schooling period. I could only watch television like during the holidays, and then I could watch television like much later, I could sleep later, so on and so forth, right? So you get to do a lot of things when we were kids. When you were kids, I'm sure, when it's the holiday period. So then someone forgot to tell us, right? Probably Santa Claus forgot to tell us that we are now adults, our priorities are changed, our body are changed, the things we want even are changed, right? Like it's not like we even want to party harder. It's not even like we want, not even harder, like it's not even like we want to party hard. It's not even like we want to consume a ton of food, but it's because of what was brought from our childhood times, which is go all out, do whatever like you want. When it's brought forward to adulthood, whatever we want has already changed. Like if you realize, if we take some time to think about it, whatever we want actually has changed, but because of what used to happen in the past, we start to think that whatever we wanted in the past is what we want now too. We want to continue partying hard, we want to eat a ton of food, right? Like don't get me wrong, enjoy your foods and stuff like that, but I'm quite sure like for a lot of us, we don't even want to eat that much compared to just like a couple of years ago, right? If I'm wrong, then please enjoy yourself, right? But for those of you who actually feel so, right, it's a great thing to be aware of, and a great thing to see if you want to change, right? Like the choice is yours. This is just me sharing some of my thoughts. Again, main thing here is just being aware, right? Recognizing what are some of the things that we used to do in the past that we actually don't really want to do this anymore, but we are almost as if possessed by our younger self to continuously do them. And sometimes because you are possessed by your younger self, right, by your younger desires and stuff like that, you want to continue, you don't actually want to continue doing them, but because like you've been trained through the years to do them, now you feel like you feel guilty or feel bad for ourselves, when we aren't able to do these things even if we wanted to, but actually we don't want to. It's just our younger self speaking, if that makes sense. Right? So something to think about here, and something to really just think about when it comes to our holiday habits. There's really no need to change our holiday habits up too much from the regular day-to-day habits that we have, right? If you sleep at a certain time, you wake up at a certain time, sure, you know, one or two of those like nights out, your time may change slightly, but there's no need to change your waking up time and your sleeping time throughout the entire holiday month, right? December, for example. Yeah, like ask yourself if there's really a need to, like, and if you are actually doing it because you want to, or it's almost as if you're like kind of possessed, or because of like trained habits from the past few years growing up. And the next thing is eating, right? Like I'm sure for some of you whose relationship with food is not as great, when it comes to the holiday period, things may feel like it's going out of hand. But just recognize this: just because you, in the past few years, right, whenever you hit the holiday period, you actually like go all out, eat a ton of food, like almost as if you lose control of yourself. It doesn't mean that when it comes to this holiday period itself, you're going to do the exact same, right? Again, recognize that just because things happen in the past doesn't mean you have to keep doing them, and that doesn't mean that it actually defines you like going forward as well. You can always make a new stance, a new decision that says that, you know what, I'm going to enjoy myself, but again, like it's not like I really want to eat a lot of these foods anyway. I will still enjoy them, but I will just like eat certain portions that I want without feeling like, oh shit, I can't have this on a regular basis in the past. Because in fact, I'm quite sure you don't even want this. For a good percentage of you, you don't even want to eat that volume of food on your day-to-day, right? It's just, for example, again, the holiday hits and then you just feel like, shit, I need to eat everything, which you really don't. Right? Yeah, so those are my thoughts around like holiday habits and kind of like programming that we've had for ourselves growing up. And once we are actually able to recognize those habits, those thought patterns, it will be helpful for us to see if some of these thought patterns actually don't serve us anymore, and we can just have a conscious like flip of a switch, because now you recognize what has been happening and things will be slightly different going forward. Yeah, the aim of this is not to get you to change everything up totally. The aim of this is just pattern recognition, and then just choosing probably one or two things that you actually really want for yourself right now and changing them, and then see how it goes. All right, so no pressure in terms of like forcing yourself to act on whatever I'm just saying. Okay, work at your own pace and see how that goes. Yeah, so that is my thoughts. That concludes this Hock thought. Thanks for watching the video all the way through to the end, and hope you have a great holiday period coming up. Enjoy yourselves, but remember what you just mentioned from the start of this video till the end. Till the next one, ciao. Let's have a Hock fully good holiday, if that makes sense.